Welcome to Kingston Heath Reserve as the Victorian Premier League continues for the women. And my name is Dan Lonigan. Isabel Fender's right alongside me this afternoon, and we're looking forward to what should be a terrific game of football. The South Melbourne team second on the table, 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, while Bayside hosting today's game, 3 wins and 4 losses. And Izzy, it's a big game for Bayside to keep, I suppose, well, there's a long way to go in the season. They're 20 games, but they're a fair way off the pace from the top 4. But for South Melbourne, they've been pretty hard to beat this year. You would think they'd be favourites, although interesting in selection that both teams have left out the number 1 goalkeepers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Bayside are really solid there in the middle of the table, very close race there. And South have sort of been a little bit uninspiring at times and just managed to hang on in a couple of games. So, yeah, it's anyone's game here, but I think it is South's to win.
Well, 5 wins, a loss and a draw. They've been pretty good when it's come to their defence this year. They've had 2 clean sheets. Bayside yet to have a clean sheet, and they're the only team that have conceded a goal against Southern United, who've actually let through 81. So they're really struggling. Now, that is a record they wouldn't like to have. Why do you think they've been a bit up and down this year, Bayside?
Well, I think they've had a lot of ins and outs in terms of their actual team. We've seen today that they've got a lot of changes from the last time I saw them, which was only a week ago. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. Obviously, a different goalkeeper in today and a couple of key players back in the team. So,
who are the key players that have come back in?
Well, you've got a couple of players that have come in, and you've got the French player Margot Robin in the middle there, and she's going to really solidify that midfield and play forward, I think.
Well, they've scored 18 goals and she scored 9 of them, so, I mean, she's obviously a key person in that team, and without her, they probably lack a bit of talent, don't they, especially up front?
Yeah, I mean, they've got the pace of Christina Kadachi, and also Anastopoulos played really well against Bulleen, just didn't really have the support around her. So I think they have got the talent up there, but it's just about managing to play together as a team. At
this stage, a long way to go, but Calder look like the team to beat, 5 points clear.
Yeah, they're definitely a league of their own up there, but I think you'll find a lot of changes happen with all the teams in the off-season, so they're all just learning to play with each other, and I think we'll find that it's a bit closer towards the end of the season.
So white and blue, which is the colours we all know the South Melbourne Football Club as, and orange and black, the colours of Bayside. And we're about to get started here. And great to have your company on our stream on the Football Federation Victoria on YouTube. And South Melbourne looking to continue to put pressure on Calder at the top. And the only loss they've had was to Calder, and the only game where they didn't score. Well beaten 3-0. And they've got Mia Hollingsworth coming in as a new recruit. And she's from the USA, along with Jamie Pollock, their captain, number 11. And as we said, Melissa Mazel's the number 1 goalkeeper for the Bayside team, not playing today. And their goalkeeper will be Lauren Farija. And Alexa Karatsikos is the goalkeeper for South Melbourne, replacing Erin Hudson. I wouldn't have thought experimentation, is he? But maybe just having a bit of a look at players. Or you suppose you call that experimentation, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I mean, it's such a long season. If the goalkeepers have a little niggle here or there, it's not worth playing them when there's, mid-28 rounds or something. It's not worth it. So give your number 2 goalkeeper a chance and see how they go.
You got to admire the football players. It's 3 games in a week for South Melbourne too, because they played in the Knockout Cup during the week as well. So we'll see how, and that's probably why they've made a change with Erin Hudson having a rest today, and straight away they go defensively, and Karatsikos heads it out wide, and it's taken by Alexander Gummer, who brings it down the line. And I think South Melbourne are claiming that Bayside had the last touch. And there's one South Melbourne supporter here who's quite fired up near our commentary position. As again, it's headed back by Sakalis. And it's brought out to the outer side by South Melbourne. But now in possession is Rabin, the French import, as Izzy mentioned. Trying to head it down was Jessica Rao. But gee, they're tall, some of those South defenders. And they headed out now to the near side. And in possession, taken by Hollingsworth, their new recruit. She beats one or two and she heads just outside the area. She has a shot and just misses. But that was a nice, promising move, and good to see Mia Hollingsworth in the action early.
Yeah, it was a great run. I think the Bayside players were expecting her to pass it off, and she took it herself. It was a great shot.
Yes, they were sagging off for a little bit, and it will be a Bayside ball. Rabin tried to take it, but again, South Melbourne are able to close it down. But at the back, Shearing in possession. Heads it down the line, but it'll be cleared by South Melbourne again at halfway. Hollingsworth, nice little pass out wide. And taken by Gummer, but she wasn't able to keep control of it. Heading down the left-hand side. And it will be a Bayside ball. Opening couple of minutes, no score as yet. Taken by Rabin. Rabin gets it down. It might be turned over in midfield. It won't be. Charging out of defence now. This is good work by Lucy Richards. Brings it down the left-hand side for Bayside. They're now in the defensive half for South Melbourne, who'll turn it over again. Nice through ball down the right-hand side. They've got players charging everywhere. Pass comes back inside, but again they've got the numbers. Lucy Richards comes in to intercept for Bayside again, and it's pushed over the sideline, trying to ensure that no damage is done. Sarah Walsh, in fact it's actually off a South Melbourne boot, so they keep possession. Rabin and Richards, again it's knocked down, back in the defensive half for Bayside, and South in possession again, trying to get control of it. Sakalis, they're now inside the area. Sakalis, a pass over the top. Oh, gee, the goalkeeper came off her line, but did pretty well in the end to ensure that it's flummoxed over the side, although it will be a corner for South Melbourne. And that was good work by Lauren Farisia, who had to come off her line, but it was a little bit delicate for a moment there.
Yeah, I was very nervous there for Bayside. I think South will be disappointed that the ball didn't find the back of the net, but they've got another chance here with the corner.
So South doing most of the attacking early stages in this match. Kingston Heath Reserve. It's a low corner. It's cleared by Bayside again, but they're having trouble getting it out of their defensive half. They might get an opportunity here down the left-hand side, but again, South take the ball off them. Good pressure. Now the pass may come out to Hollingsworth. It won't. It's stopped by Bayside again, and players are under pressure just inside the attacking half for South. Again, Hollingsworth, who's been pretty prominent so far on the left-hand side. Render's putting pressure on her, one of the defenders for Bayside. Close to the line, she loses control of it. Back to Hollingsworth again, just outside the area. Looking to set it up. Her pass floats across the top and not able to get a header on it as it goes over the line. Sarah Richardson, she's under pressure. And again, it'll be turned over by Bayside, whose defence has been pretty good so far because they've been under pressure. A through ball down the left-hand side, but that'll roll over the line and be stopped comfortably by Haratzis for South Melbourne. He'll get it back now. The defender's working well at the back. You think Gummer might receive this one on the left-hand side, and she does, Alexandra Gummer, but she has some company there in the form of Kadashi. And they're having to work hard. Hollingsworth has been good so far, working out how her team works in her first match for them. Gummer. That's a nice pass to Cindy Lay. Lay again as they put a few decent passes together. And Haratzis, the tall figure at the back, receives just behind halfway for South Melbourne. Still 0-0, but South doing most of the attacking. Now it's turned over by Bayside. Jessica Au gets a pass in. This is a through ball, but again, Gummer is at the back and works hard with it and finds Hollingsworth, the USA import. It tells them where she wants to put it, just inside the attacking area. But again, good defence by Richards, who saved the day a few times for Bayside so far. She puts it wide to Emily Harvis, who scored 4 times this year for Bayside. And again, they've got it inside the attacking half, But South with numbers at the back. They control it once again as they go into the middle of the field. And almost losing control of it is Sophia Sakalis. Shearing was there. She knocked it down, but Sakalis recovers. Gets a little pass that doesn't find the target. And now they've got an opportunity as driving it forward, Bacalo. But it goes back now, and South can settle it down. And they do. Pass towards halfway. Sakalis has it now. She's under pressure. She beats a couple. Her through ball's an excellent one. Hollingsworth still onside on the edge of the area. Manages to shove off her opponent, Rendis. Now she gets to the top of the penalty area and is put in by South Melbourne. A beautiful ball by Hollingsworth. And it was all over for Bayside. She was able to find a teammate right at the top of the area. And South has scored the first goal inside the first 10 minutes. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was lovely play. I think it was Adriana Jones who finished it in the end. It was a great run by Hollingsworth down that left wing.
Yes, Adriana Jones, her 5th goal of the season. She's been outstanding, Hollingsworth, so far, giving them a lot of drive on the left-hand side as our sole South Melbourne supporter is delighted. He's got his drum. Doesn't have anyone else helping him out. As Rabin gets a goal straight away for Bayside United. They brought it away, and she was magnificent as she got inside the area, down the right-hand side, caught the South Melbourne defenders napping. She got out on her own and, well, scores her 10th goal of the season. It's 1-1. Magnificent play, and really Bayside haven't gone forward too often with any authority, is he? But on that occasion they do.
Yeah, it was wonderful work by Rabin. It just shows what the international players can do in this league. We've got Hollingsworth at one end and Rabin at the other. It's exciting to watch.
Yes, the French international. Second in the goal scoring in the competition and scored more than half a team's goals now. And she may get possession here as she'll get a free kick. She got tangled in the feet of her opponent, but the pass is turned over by Lay. Lay did well to chest it down to her own advantage, and then she finds at the halfway mark Hollingsworth. A through ball now, but I think there might have been some offside. Creeping forward was Jones, the goal scorer for South Melbourne. Now the pass to Rabin has been good so far. Industrious has it turned over by Hollingsworth. Brilliant play again, a through ball to Jones. Back to Hollingsworth. Gets around a couple of opponents, but good defence at the back by Bayside. They stave off the day, but South Melbourne win possession just inside their attacking half. They elect to go back and try and set it up again, and they do. Pass wide. Lay combining. And now they head towards the left-hand side. Pass down in the direction of Sakalis, who's been good so far, but she's under pressure from Rabin, who keeps her honest. She goes back into the middle of the park. Once again, they're under a little bit of pressure, South, but I reckon their defence is working pretty well, and they've got numbers everywhere. As it comes out the far side, Farley involved, and now Lay again, who's had a bit of it. Gummer doing a good job. Well inside the attacking half. A pass down the left to Hollingsworth again. And the opposite number 19, Rabin, right on a hammer. She was trying to find a teammate, but puts it over the byline, and it'll be a goal kick. So it's 1-1 here. A quick goal to Adriana Jones was followed up by a magnificent individual piece just inside the area on the right-hand side by Margot Rabin of Bayside. So good start here, Izzy.
Yeah, it is. Both teams are showing something, and it's anyone's game at the moment. It just shows what pressure can do, though, because when either side is pressuring the other team, they've got nothing.
A little bit unsure, Lauren Farija. She floats a ball very close to the line, and it's taken over the line by Hollingsworth. She had a couple of opponents to deal with then. So Bayside in possession. But again, overwhelmed by numbers was Rabin. A high ball, and it's tidied up at the back inside the penalty area by the goalkeeper, Farija, for Bayside. Heads it out wide, but turned over again Here's an opportunity for Lay. Lay now at centering ball, and it just hits the goal post on the side there. The far post. It was covered, though, by Lauren Farija. I think she would have been able to parry that one away, but that was a lovely centering ball by Cindy Lay. And again, they got possession. Varley at the back. Very tall figure. And they combine again, South. Sharing the ball pretty well and passing pretty well. And now Varley's ball's a ripper. Gummer's got a through ball. She stayed on side now. And her left foot shot. And a cry of anguish from Gummer. Realises that she goes right over the crossbar. Misses by a long, long way on the left. But she probably needed to square that up a little bit, I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure she had a heap of support in the middle, but I think it would have helped a bit for South to do that. But it was a lovely through ball from Leah Varley, just splitting the defence perfectly for Gummer's run.
Has spent some time in the Women's A-League, Alexandra Gummer. So straight down the middle. Farija had a cut off, headed away against South in possession. Good work. I see it over the line, and it's taken by Jamie Pollock. Well, she thought it was her ball. She was involved in the initial intercepting header, but Bayside went it back, and Farija a little pass at close quarters to Rendis. Rendis finds a teammate in Rabin. Rabin now looking for Kadashi. Kadashi might have had it turned over by Hollingsworth, who had it last. I think it might have been Bayside, and it will be Gummer. Trying to control it, Jones. Scored earlier, back to Gummer now, who's been very industrious so far. Under some pressure from Kadashi. Has to get it back to Hollingsworth. Tries to bump her off, and it goes over the sideline. Good contest between Kadashi and Hollingsworth. And it will be a South Melbourne ball. Or will it be a Bayside ball? No, I think it's going to be a Bayside ball. Free kick. Sarah Walsh. And she goes back now to Farija, who gets it to Richards. And they keep going through Shearing down the left-hand side, trying to build something up now. They're at halfway, but cut off again. Good defence by South Melbourne, although that pass was a bit astray, or coming in to clean it up as Sakalis. Does a good job for South. Now she's looking for options. She passes out wide again. Under some pressure, Lay's pass, though, doesn't find a target, and it limply travels over the byline at the Kingston Heath end of the ground, where the Bayside team are defending. They conceded a goal early. Adriana Jones for South, but then straight away, Margot Rabin got one back for Bayside. So it's 1-1. The battle between second and sixth on the table. Round 8 action in the Women's Premier League. Great to have your company here at Kingston Heath Reserve. Centering ball, but lovely pair of hands by Farija. Controlled that nicely. Number 2 goalkeeper in the team today for Melissa Mazels. Just close to the line again. Good battle. Hollingsworth involved with Rendis. South Melbourne ball. Gummer to the tall figure of Jones. Gets it back to Gummer. She loses control of it. She's saying, what about a free kick? Now Bayside in possession, almost at halfway. They put a chain of passes together, but it's turned over against Bacalo. Now it comes back in the direction of Bayside, and they bring it down the right-hand side. And good support by Sakalis, trying to help her teammate out on that occasion, Jessica out. And eventually it will be a Bayside ball right on halfway. We've got this big pole in front of us, Sissy, but I think we see plenty of the action on a pleasant afternoon in Melbourne, in the southern suburbs of Melbourne, down at Cheltenham. South go back now and look to build up once more through Varley, a tall figure. And Varley will try and get it to Hollingsworth, who has a right smile on her face as it goes over the line. How are you seeing it so far?
Yeah, it's a good contest at the moment. I think South have had a lot more of the possession and a lot more of the control, but Bayside are holding them off well in the final third.
South's defence pretty good. Alexandra Gummer working hard, isn't she? She's going back and forward, trying to be an option when Hollingsworth gets it on that left-hand side, and then she goes back to lend those defenders, led by Leah Varley, plenty of support.
Yeah, she's an absolute workhorse along that left side.
Zoe Aratzis also very important at the back as well, doing a good job. So South in possession, still inside the defensive half. Jones comes out to meet it. The goal scorer earlier got it to Hollingsworth, controls the ball cleverly. Rabin puts pressure on her and forces the turnover. It's won by Bayside's Walsh. Walsh, a high floating ball, but will be comfortably cleaned up at the back by Alexa Karatsakios. But this is a turnover by the South defence, but only momentarily. They've got options everywhere. Lay out to Hollingsworth at halfway, right in front of our commentary position. She shares it again, now towards Lay, who's still onside. And after her is Rendis. It's a foot race. Lay trying to control it, arches the back. Rendis all over her. Slipped over, then Lay. Rendis wins it back, but then turns it over to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth's little pass doesn't really find a target. And again, a Bayside player goes down in Kadashi. So it was 2-on-2 then. And it is a good contest so far, 1-1 in the first half. So Walsh with the ball in defence for Bayside. High floating ball towards halfway. Headed down nicely by Jamie Pollock at the bootlaces of her teammate in Sarah Richardson. Eventually South have to go back, and they've got those defenders all there, all ready to combine, all knowing what they're doing. Varley now at halfway, slightly indecisive. Good pass to Hollingsworth again. Try to get a through ball to Sakalis, couldn't find it. Now Hollingsworth will turn it over again from the defence from Bayside inside their attacking half. Has to go back Hollingsworth. Finds Varley. He'll set it up again. Just over halfway South. Into attack. Nice ball by Jones. Falls to Sakalis. He's got the goalkeeper to beat, who does magnificently. Well done Farija, who dived out in front. Might have hurt herself as Sakalis tried to get a boot on that. And did she make connection with the face or the body of Farija? But that was a magnificent piece of goalkeeping by Farija inside the penalty area.
Yeah, it was very courageous stuff by her. She's done well, obviously not starting the last few games. She's done really well. Good confidence-building game for her so far. But, yeah, those don't tickle.
Particularly if it's start up,
yeah.
No matter how incidental it might be.
Yeah, no, she was definitely going for the ball. But, yeah, if the boot hits you there, it certainly hurts.
Looks like she's recovered. High ball towards halfway. Both players, one from each team, missing the header. Slips to Rabin. Rabin now always knows what she's doing when in control of the ball. Goes sideways now to Walsh, an experienced campaigner. Heads it out now to Al. Al right in front of the lovely club rooms here. The Kingston Heath reserve tried to get the ball through to Bacalo. Bacalo's pass was run down and over the sideline, but just inside the attacking half for Bayside. They haven't gone forward that often. When they have, it was a goal to Rabin. Generally, the defensive structure has been in place for South Melbourne, but they got a breakaway out of the middle. And they were betwixt and between the South defence, allowing Rabin to finish on the right-hand side, just inside the area. Lovely goal. So now South can set it up. Gummer has to do some work to get this pass, and she does. Just keeps the alive from Aratzis. Now she finds Jones. Jones is a tall, lithe figure, and she goes back now in the direction of Varley. Varley's pass is a nice one towards halfway. Pollock just behind the attacking half for the South Melbourne side. Now she's inside the attacking half and goes back, Pollock, and gets support from Aratzis. Aratzis now with a little pass to Varley. Varley out on the left-hand side. No one putting pressure on her now as the Bayside team sags back, and now she puts a through ball into Hollingsworth, who's charging after it, had too much on it over the byline. And it's still 1-1 between Bayside and South Melbourne. She looks to be okay, Lauren Farija.
Yeah, having a little jog around there, good signs.
And doing a good job too. She just dived on that. It was between her and Sakalis. Now Walsh, little pass, almost turns it over. In fact, she does turn it over. Sakalis now, but there was no one on the end of that, and it'll be tidied up just outside the area by the goalkeeper Farija. Down the left-hand side. Carlo gets an opportunity to set something up at halfway. Now approaches the attacking half. Through ball to Rabin. Rabin is under pressure and coming out and meeting it for South Melbourne. Their goalkeeper, Karatsakos. It's a nice little pass towards the right-hand side. And now South have a chance. That's a beautiful through ball, Sarah Richardson. And Jones goes long and high. It's not taken cleanly by Farija. Shot by Hollingsworth. And Farija had two cracks at it and stopped them both. Well done by Farija. She was off her line from Jones's pass, heading down the right-hand side. Hollingsworth tried to tidy it up. The first one was parried away by Farija. She had to get up on her feet quickly, knew there was another one coming, and she managed to stop them both. She's doing a great job, Lauren Farija, keeping her side 1-1 at the moment. Having a lot of work to do as, again, the ball finds itself inside the attacking half for Bayside, but their problem is that their attacks don't have a lot of venom on them, Izzy.
No, it's often just the one or two moving forward. They need to have the support around them, and they're not having that at the moment.
South have got the players at the back, working very hard. Lots of instructions. Farley involved there. It puts it over the sideline, just inside the attacking half for Bayside. Rendis found her teammate in Shearing, who goes down in a clumsy tackle. And it will be a Bayside ball inside the attacking half. Rabin will take it. The South get their numbers back. So Rabin looking for options. There are two South opponents in front of her for this free kick to be taken. And then a number of players hovering around the edge of the area. High ball, it's a good one, looking for someone to head it down. It's headed away by the tallest figure. Unfortunately for Bayside, it's Varley of South Melbourne at the bootlaces of Lay. It's a very good ball down the right-hand side. Jones is issuing instructions. She wants Hollingsworth to get in the right position. Through ball now towards Hollingsworth. Too much on it, and it'll be tidied up at the back, cleaned up at the back by Farija, who's been enormous so far for United, making save after save after save. Stopped probably 3 or 4 goals so far, including 3 in about 10 seconds a couple of minutes ago. 1 from Jones, 2 from Hollingsworth. So they're under pressure here. Might be a turnover against Bayside. Shearing just stopped and allowing South Melbourne to get numbers around and just outside the area. Flying shot by Lay, misses to the left-hand side. And that was a bit clumsy then by Bayside because Shearing just sort of stopped and allowed her opponents to hover and turn it over.
Yeah, it was. If you're going to take the possession in the middle there, you're really going to want to know where your players are and move it along quickly, and she just didn't.
That's a long ball down the right-hand side. Headed away by South. At the back. Looking to arrive on it is Richardson. Got support from Pollock. And Haratzis at the back, but turned over by Walsh inside the defensive half. Rabin goes back now, looking to set it up now through Richards, who's been pretty good so far for Bayside. Attacking it hard for them is Al, but she couldn't get control of it. She might get it again now, just inside the attacking half. Down the left-hand side in front of the beautiful social club rooms here at Kingston Heath. Turned over again. The South defence solid. They look to switch. They do down the left-hand side. Good pass, Pollock. Finds Hollingsworth. Goes back now to Gummer. Gummer back to Hollingsworth. They share it. And to Gummer again. Just inside the attacking half. Turns her opponent. Shearing inside out, but had too much on the pass. And cleaned up at the back again by Farija. Still 1-1. Taken in the middle. And again, South turn it over. It has to be a free. A shove against Walsh to Sakalis, who gets up writhing a little bit. So a free kick for South Melbourne at the Kingston Heath end. As both teams get numbers back. Looks like Gummer's going to take it. She goes wide with her pass. Sitting all on her own. Finds her teammate. It goes back to Gummer. And that was Papatsanis who got it back to her, but then eventually Bayside had numbers back, so they had to revert to being defensive and player offside as Harasis drove it inside the attacking half. They just look a little bit better organised, South, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think Bayside did really well there to put the pressure on South's attacking movement and make nothing of that free kick, but South definitely have the structure, and the defensive line is a lot more solid than Bayside are looking at the moment.
High ball by Walsh, headed down by Al, but South with numbers at the back, and they elect to reload again by going back to the goalkeeper, Karatsikos. Now to Varley. Varley with a lovely floating ball, getting a little boot on it was Hollingsworth, and then put over the side by Bayside defensively near our commentary position in the grandstand here at Kingston Heath Reserve. And Bayside are happy to concede that. Gummer goes back now to Varley once more. Gets confronted. Gets a little pass now to Pollock, the captain, the USA import, one of two today. Hollingsworth making her debut for South Melbourne. High ball, but in the way, Richards, but she might lose this to Papsanis, her opponent for South Melbourne. Nice little pass again. Looking to drive it long is Richardson, but it goes across the face. She had a long shot, slightly off balance, put plenty into it, but it rolled along the turf, and it'll be taken by Farisia as it went across the byline. Little pass. Close quarters. Walsh. And that's an errant pass by Sarah Walsh. Although Bayside managed to keep possession. A pass into the middle of the ground now. Unable to control it is Shearing. Outnumbered a bit. And with numbers at the back, Haratzis has always been on her own, able to clean up comfortably. So is Varley, who heads to the left-hand side and taking it now and trying to beat a couple is Hollingsworth. She had four opponents around her. Eventually numbers were going to overwhelm her, and taking it Kadashi. Kadashi's got some pace, as Izzy said a bit earlier. She manages to turn Gummer inside out, then gets a pass inboard, taken down by Al. Outside now, chance for Renders. Renders running down the right-hand side, but at the top of the area, cleaned up at the back by Haratzis, has been superb so for South Melbourne. The score is 1-1 at the moment, a pass to Jones. Jones running down the left and keeping her company. That was a good run by Kadashi, and it's put over the sideline as Bayside's defence under pressure inside the attacking half for South, who've done most of the attacking so far, but it's still 1-1. Goal to Rabin a minute after Jones scored at the top of the penalty box after a lovely cross by Hollingsworth for South Melbourne. Now back inside their attacking half again. South building once more. But that pass didn't find a target. Cleaned up at the back by Bayside's Shearing. Shearing, no, doesn't have much to kick to, so she goes down the line, and it is trapped cleverly by Gummer. Finds a teammate in Hollingsworth for South. Good through ball by Sakalis, and there's an offside because it was at the top of the area and trapped cleverly by Richardson. But unfortunately for South, they were about to put pressure on Farija again. Opportunity goes begging for them.
Yeah, it was lovely play forward. They've just got that structure of being able to have players around and pass the ball to feet and move around the Bayside defenders, whereas I feel when Bayside are going forward, they don't have that same support, and that's where they're struggling.
Long floating ball by Farija, clears the defensive half. Hollingsworth can't control it after the nice header from Gummer. And at the back, Richards doing a good job in defence. Got it to a teammate Renders, but had it closed down, but she gets it back again from Varley. But there's Haratzis again, who's been like the janitor so far in the first half for South Melbourne. Nice pass out in the direction of Lay. Lay combining with Papsanis. Back to Lay, has to go back defensively again, as there's good press up by Bayside here, but South have got the numbers in the middle of the park. Hollingsworth, number of players Shearing. Pollock's another one who gets control of the ball now. Inside the attacking half, good through ball. Papsanis a chance. Actually, on that occasion, it was Richardson who couldn't get enough on it, and it's taken again by Farija, who's been superb, probably the player of the match so far with all those saves, including 3 inside a minute. Wonderful reflexes. Turnover here, and great play by Our. Our turns a couple of opponents inside out. That was wonderful play by Jessica Au. She kept control of the ball despite having an opponent hovering all over her like a cheap suit right on halfway, and it will be a free kick to go the way of Bayside. It was excellent play by Jessica Au. Just making sure that the team still had possession. Walsh, a high ball. Headed down. Inside the attacking zone by Harvest. They scored 4 goals this year for Bayside. South, they turn it over again. On the right-hand side. Through ball by Richardson, who's been good so far. But again, a lot of orange shirts around it, but taken eventually by Lay. He's quite good on the ball too as she controls it. To Richardson. Richardson will switch out to the left-hand side. And this is taken by Gummer. And Gummer's been superb. Long high ball, but no one on the end of that. Bar Farija, the goalkeeper, who's camped inside the area at the Kingston Heath end and doing a very good job, as we mentioned a few times, for Bayside. Pass is good again by Richards. And she finds Bacalo. Bacalo, though, was under some pressure as an opponent was trying to come across her bows. And she puts it over the sideline. Again, a South ball inside the defensive half. Was going to go backwards. Gummer gets it to Jones. Back to Gummer. Gummer's under pressure. Has to try and control it from her speedy opponent, Kadashi, and does. Varley with another support at the back in Haratzis. Haratzis will head down the right-hand side. Lay back to Haratzis, sharing inside the defensive half for South. Still 1-1. Good through ball. Lay. Lay's pass out wide, good. Richardson now. Her pass again wasn't great. She was under some pressure, so she turned it over at the top of the area to Walsh of Bayside, but she can't get much on that, and that goes over the sideline in front of the beautiful club rooms here at Kingston Heath Reserve. 1-1 in the first half. Victorian Premier League women's competition. Second South Melbourne playing 6th Bayside United. At the back. Haratzis again. Good turnover against Lay by Rabin. Got support in Bacalo. Back to Rabin inside the attacking area, but kicks into the body of Varley. Turned her body, allowed her to hit her probably in the fleshier part, if that makes any sense. Gets it down now to Gummer. Gummer does well. She did not flinch then, Varley, and that was kicked pretty hard into her. Taken there by Sakalis. Sakalis almost at halfway. Nice little pass through. Jones was waiting for that, but had a couple of opponents pressing on her. She has to go back now to Varley. Varley looks very cool, calm and collected at left back. She's told to keep going by Hollingsworth. Little pass now, taken by Gummer. Gummer looking to set something up at the top of the area. Arriving Richardson. Her pass is cut off. Bayside under pressure. Spills back to Richardson, who goes long and high and kicks a magnificent goal from outside the area. It looked like it was going to be covered by Fariga, but it kept going and going and going. And in the end, there was nothing that the goalkeeper, Lauren Fariga, could do. That is what I call a blistering goal by South Melbourne, and they lead 2-1. Magnificent.
Yeah, that was a fantastic strike. They were struggling to really penetrate the defence, so if you can't do that, have a go, and she did, and it was a great goal.
Well, you've got to connect with a goal like that, and she absolutely connected, and she was online right from the word go, and there was nothing the goalkeeper could do.
No, she did really well, and I thought originally she might have been a little bit off balance, just the way that she took the ball, but took it beautifully.
So 2-1 South Melbourne. Some brilliance by South. And they deserve their lead. Now Bayside under some pressure. They just struggled to put passes together because South's defence were mentioned very organised. They've managed to get a boot in here, a boot in there, and Rabin was pushed down there. I thought it should have been a free kick against Haratzis. Haratzis wins it almost at halfway now South through the busy and industrious Hollingsworth. Tries to turn a couple inside out. One though by Shearing. That was good play by Shearing at Bayside. Gets it now to the speedy Kadashi. 2 opponents, one behind her, one in front of a Gummer. Now inside the area. She's under pressure coming across her path. Varley clamours her to the turf and wins it back for South, whose defence has been brilliant. Now Sakalis gets control of it and was put down by Shearing. Not sure that there are a couple of free kicks in that. And Margot Rabin has said to the ref, I don't want to hear your complaints, but I think she might have a point.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a few sore bodies walking around now. I think everyone just needs to calm down a little bit, and the ref's obviously trying to get control of this one, and hopefully we can play on without any aggression.
So Sakalis and Lay in defensive half, sharing with Haratzis, who's been very good. Through ball down the right-hand side. South in possession. Flicked over the top by Richardson. And not able to control it. Papatsanis on the right-hand side. And Bayside in possession. 2-1. Magnificent goal by South a couple of minutes ago from just outside the area. Nothing the goalkeeper Farija, who's been heroic for Bayside so far, could do. Just kept going and going and going. Some might say that she didn't realise it was going to carry the journey it did, but I don't think anyone could have stopped that. That she might have just misread the flight, but it was a fantastic effort. Yellow card given. Is it against Margot Rabin, who's having a bit of a look, isn't she? She's not happy, the captain. A little bit of yapping.
Yeah, I think she might have been given the yellow card for that one. Obviously, she's had a bit to say to the ref the last couple of challenges, and Jazzy's not going to stand for that.
No, I was in the rooms with Jazzy. I was very, very impressed. Jasmine Stegar, and she was teaching a young girl who was doing an under-16s match about how best to referee. Obviously, the young girl knew the game. You wouldn't know the game if you were refereeing, but she was just giving her great advice. I was very impressed, and I was learning on the go too. It's been a while since I've broadcast some soccer. Is he enjoying it today? But yeah, it was just interesting the way she was going through what you need to do, and she's obviously in control, knows what she's doing, and she won't take any poor comments made by the players, hence why she gave Rabin a warning and then decided next time you've yapped too much, I'll give you a yellow card. So South in possession in front of our commentary position. Pollock, who's been good, shares it back now with Varley. Varley goes back to Haratzis at centre back. Haratzis now looking for an option. She may go for a long ball. She does. It's cut off by Walsh at halfway by Bayside. But again, they've got numbers at the back. The blue-booted Pollock again, the skipper. To Gummer. Back to Pollock. And now to Lay. Now to Hollingsworth. Despite having an opponent all over her in Rendis, she felt she was still the right person to be in control. Over the sideline. Thrown back in by Rendis. Taken by Bacalo. Now to Kadashi. Two opponents near her. Turned over as Jones arrives. Now to Gummer. They've turned it over a lot, Bayside. Gummer a high ball. Richardson running in position now. She is inside the area. She tried to get a boot on it. She couldn't. Farrugia tries to stop her. Now she's got to get back and try and man the goal. A good pass by Richardson to the top of the area. Sakalis. Pass was run down. Good defence by Richards of Bayside. And now arriving Al. Al still in the defensive half. Gets a pass out wide. Looking to set it up Bacalo. Bacalo under pressure from Lay. Good contest this. 2-1 South Melbourne leading. Now they're at halfway. And Kadashi, a little pass inboard. Taken by Bacalo. Bacalo's pass, missed by Shearing. Tried to get a boot out of it. Luckily a teammate was at the back. Able to tidy it up for the home team. Al. Bumped off it by Sakalis. Sakalis' body work brilliant. South win possession again. Inside the attacking half to Jones. Coming the other way though, Farija just throws her boot at it and gets it out of the defensive area for the time being. 2-on-1 against Richardson on the far side for South Melbourne. And she does well to go back, and South can load up again and they look composed once more, Izzy.
Yeah, I'm loving Faruja's game today. She's really confident and coming out to those balls with no hesitation, and it's great to watch.
South looking good again. Gummer a little pass through. Jones got a slight back heel to it, but there's no one at the back to run onto that. So Walsh manages to cover it up for Bayside. Stops and props. And she's unsure. They're just a bit indecisive because South have closed it up further up the field. Their defence has been so good today, even though they let a goal in straight after scoring themselves through Rabin. Some clever play by the French Stars. Scored 10 goals this year of the 19 that Bayside have put in the back of the net. But they've also conceded 19 as well. As again, South aside. We'll go back to go forward through Varley, Haratzis. And now they look through Sakalis. A pass out wide to Pollock. And to Gummer again on the left-hand side where they've done a lot of their work and a lot of their attacking. Hollingsworth just outside the area. Takes on Renders. Inside the area. Has a couple of opponents putting pressure on her, and coming across her path was Austin, who's been okay at the back as well. And eventually the ball goes over the byline. They've only conceded the one corner so far, which has been pretty tidy by Bayside, but Farisia's had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, she has. They've kept her very busy, but they've done well cleaning them up when they've been there to take, and they'll be pretty comfortable going into halftime. I think even though they're down, they're still in this game.
Here's Varley, wins possession, left-hand side. Looks for a through ball. Hollingsworth controls her own advantage and manages to get past Renders. Now a pass to Jones. Again, had too much on it. Jones was going as quickly as she could inside the area to try and run onto that. And once again, Farisia will start proceedings for Bayside, who are down 2-1. Nearing half-time. High ball, but again lays in the road for South Melbourne. She heads it down, but it'll be turned over by Bayside. Down the left-hand side, but once again 2-on-1, and that was very clever work by Richardson, who's been superb. She wins it close to the sideline, centering ball, but no one's there to take it. Bar shearing for Bayside, and her pass is turned over as well. Too many of the Bayside passes turned over, especially inside their defensive half where it is now, and Lay wins it again down that right-hand side. Richardson, can she get there before it gets to the line? She does. She's tucked in under some pressure. Her pass doesn't find a target. At the back there, supporting the goalkeeper. Doing a good job was Walsh for the Bayside team. Now almost at halfway, Bacalo. Bacalo's passed down the right-hand side of Kadashi. Now they're inside their attacking half. Gummer sagging off for a little bit, looking to see what Kadashi might do. Kadashi tries to take on Gummer, and Gummer was in the road. She was too big. Brilliant. Well played, Alexandra Gummer. And she finds Hollingsworth. South again win another tackle and win possession again with their excellent defence. Pollock. Sakalis almost loses it. Approaching her is Shearing, who's been pretty good in defence for Bayside. But again, Haratzis has got most of her possessions on her own at centre-back, just outside the area. That pass, though, might be turned over a rare one by Al. And sprinting down the left-hand side, here's a chance for Bayside through Harvest, who's really been out of sorts today. And eventually Haratzis wins a one-on-one, and she just charges down the right-hand side, sauntering away. A nice little pass. Looking for someone to run onto it. It's a centering ball, but there's no one there for South Melbourne to try and finish it off. Richardson tried to get there, but comfortably taken by Farisia. And now they're in possession. But it's turned over by Jessica Au again at halfway by Bayside. Just struggling, as we've mentioned, to put those passes together. And Hollingsworth helping out as almost like a holding midfielder down that left-hand side. Good pass to Gummer. Gummer now to Lay. Lay's got a couple on her, and she'll take a free kick. I think one of the keys of South Melbourne has been the fact they've always had a 2-on-1 contest, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've always had that supportive player near them to add that extra support when Bayside are pressing, and I think that's something that Bayside need to really improve on in the second half, along with their passing accuracy.
So South are inside their attacking half, but Bayside with possession in front of their dugout. Pass to Kadashi. Hasn't had a lot of room today, Christina Kadashi. And Lay, a little bit too good for Bacalo, who runs into Shearing, and Shearing forces a turnover. And now there's a chance for Rabin, the skipper. High ball by Rabin, but there's no one there to take it. Harvis was, had gone too far. She thought the pass by Rabin might float a bit higher. And again at the back, South have the numbers. And Gummer's pass down the left-hand side. Jones a couple to beat. She's a bit quick. She's near the area. Looks to square it up, but there's no one there for the South Melbourne side. And they have to defend grimly, Bayside. And a panic kick, but they put it over the sideline and get a chance to load up once again. Hollingsworth turned over. Rabin. Bacalo supporting Rabin for Bayside. Still inside the defensive half. And again, Pollock gets a little boot on it. But back to Walsh for Bayside. Now to Bacalo. Try and string some passes together, Bayside. Al does. Harviv was on the end of it. But once again, it is chopped off by Papzanis going down in defence to help out. And she also gets support in Sakalis. And now Varley's been very good as well. Varley with that big left foot sinks the slipper into it. But no one there to run onto it. And again on the edge of the penalty area is Farija. High ball down the right-hand side, or down the left-hand side, I should say. And it's half-time. South Melbourne 2. Lovely goal from outside the area. It was probably the highlight after Adriana Jones scored in the 10th minute, then a minute later. Rabin and probably Bayside's most meaningful move forward, where they caught for the only time South Melbourne napping. A little bit disorganised after scoring that first goal. South Bayside scored through Rabin, but of course, and she's coming off limping, which is not a good sign. She takes her boots off. Margot Rabin scored 10 of the 19 goals that Bayside have put on the back of the net this year. And then, as we said, will we see a better goal in Victorian Premier League football this year by South Melbourne just outside that penalty area, which was too good for Farija, despite how good Lauren Farija's been as the goalkeeper for Bayside this year, Izzy?
Yeah, it was a good goal, but it's only round 8. I think we've still got other good goals in us for the rest of the season, but it was a fantastic goal. Don't take anything away from her there. Farija's had a fantastic game for Bayside. It's she'll be disappointed by the 2 goals, but really
You did a good job. I think it's 12 months. Set and the years are going back. I just got holding on Monday. And I didn't win it. And you finish my number is 9 and I think you get and I've been doing all the work with companies on Facebook and social media for you. And then I'm moving to all the social media, so I've been spending a lot of time down here in the last 6 months, 4 months in the area. Oh, hey, mate. Oh, what it what? Oh, the video's back up already, isn't it? Oh, okay. Well, no, the mic is off.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see it. No. I'll double check it. I thought it was still a little exciting. We'll get it. Thanks very much, mate. You can have a chat. It's been a while since I've done it. Good on you, mate. Thanks. See you. Thanks, mate. It's Darren, isn't it?
Darren, yeah.
Ready to go. Ready to go for the second half. Beautiful sunshine now. You know what Melbourne's weather's like, is it? It's cloudy 1 minute, raining the next, and sunny the next. But a beautiful afternoon for football, and South Melbourne leading 2-1, and goals to Adriana Jones, and magnificent strike from outside the area from Sarah Richardson. Nothing that Lauren Farrugia, who's been the star for Bayside as their number 2 goalkeeper today. She's done an excellent job, and South Melbourne's defence has been very good. After Adriana Jones scored a goal, they conceded one straight away from the prolific Margot Rabin, who's got a yellow card as well, the skipper and the French import for Bayside. But how can Bayside get back in the match?
I think, as we said in the first half, they just need to have a bit more support moving forward. You've got the solid centre-backs of South that are just dealing with everything, and Bayside are struggling with that one-person forward line. So I think if they can get that under control, and also just their possession, not wasting the balls, and finding their targets, I think they'll be able to. They're still in this game, and I think they'll be able to put another one in the goal.
Well, how do they make the defenders of South Melbourne a bit more accountable?
Yeah, well, I think if you've got more players in the forward line moving up together, they've got more to think about. They've got more to worry about. They've got the player with the ball. They've got the player off the ball. They've got the runs that are being made. They've got more in their minds, so they're more likely to make a mistake. They're more likely to be caught off guard. I think if they're moving the ball around fast and switching point of attack, I think they've got a better opportunity than just this one-person forward line.
So they've got some work to do, Bayside. Looking for their 4th win of the season, round 8 of the Women's Premier League. This 10-team competition. And straight away, Patsanis wins possession for South Melbourne and tries to find Lay. Lay unable to get possession, so it goes back now, and they'll start again. South. Player was brought down. That has to be a free kick. And she's in a little bit of trouble, Sarah Richardson, who was one of the stars, as we said, with that unbelievable goal in the first half. Patsanis running down the right-hand side for South, who are heading to the Dandenong Centre Road into the ground, or Centre Dandenong Road into the ground. Again, Farija comes outside her area and cleans up for Bayside, but just those big bodies of South Melbourne clamour into the Bayside team and they combine well. Floating ball from Gummer. And a player brought down for Bayside. She'll end up with a free kick. Lucy Richards was the player brought down. Her teammate Sarah Walsh will take it. Still in the defensive half. And she'll go wide. But can't find Kadashi, who couldn't control it. Now she does, despite being pushed off it. But again, Varley's in the road for South. And Lay went for the through ball. Couldn't get it as far as Richardson. Cut off by Richards for Bayside. But again, turned over in the middle of the park. Lay, Sakalis for South. Forced to go backwards. And Kadashi tried to rip it off her. And then she's healed. And a free kick is given away against South Melbourne to the Bayside team. A little bit more intent with Bayside early.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's early days, but they're managing to find their own teammates with the passes and good movement forward now.
Well, Varley getting overturned a little bit, but she does well with her strength and her height to win it back to Gummer. And now they head down the left-hand side. Gummer has it. Her pass is all right to Jones. Going very close to the line. Under pressure, but South Melbourne still have it. This is Hollingsworth on the edge of the area, beating a couple, beating a third. Shoots, but a great save in the box again by Farija. She set it up magnificently, Hollingsworth. Got around a couple of opponents. It was a lovely shot, but Farija was camped slightly on the left-hand side and stopped it. Another great save. She has been enormous today. Now on the counter-attack, down the left-hand side, Rabin, but not able to keep her balance. A high ball by Haviz, who hasn't done much today, and it's headed over the line. And eventually for a corner kick, I think this might be the first corner kick of the day for Bayside, is it?
Yeah, they certainly haven't had many, if they've had any. I think this will be difficult with the height advantage that South clearly have over them, but hopefully they've got some nice set pieces in their stocks.
Yes, they are tall, aren't they? I mean, Varley, be 6'1", 6'2"?
Or, yeah, about 6 foot, I'd say.
Yeah, she's my daughter's about 6'1.5", wants to get to 6'2". I've just got a feeling Leah might have it covered. She's a very, very tall girl. That header goes right across the face. A number of players were on the edge of the penalty box and the area where they both meet. So Farija goes, I should say, on that occasion. It was Karatsakos, who's the goalkeeper. Farija, of course, is at the other end for Bayside, who's done most of the work today. Karatsakos was unable to stop a pass from Rabin or a goal from Rabin in the first half, but other than that, she hasn't had as much work to do because the defence has been good. Varley again lobs a little pass down the left-hand side. Intercepted, though, by Bayside. And their defence a bit more organised in this half so far, but they still trail 2-1 against South Melbourne. Can I use this expression? Do you expect South to park the bus? I know they were parking it a bit with their defenders in the first half. Do you expect them to park the bus more, protecting the lead?
I don't know if you really look at parking the bus when it's only 2-1. I think some say the best form of defence is attack, and I think you've got to keep going in these games. Maybe in the last sort of 5 minutes or so, you might look at sort of flooding that defence, but I think they've got to just keep playing their game and worrying about their movement forward as much as Bayside's.
There's offside there against South, who are charging forward. And it will be a Bayside ball. First look at these teams. Love the colours of the orange and black. It's a good colour on a sporting jersey, I reckon. One of my favourite colours, not that it means much. Nice centering ball by Gummer. And it's taken by Sakalis. Now to Pollock. He's under pressure from Lau. Little pass, Patsanis. Richardson had it turned over cleverly. That was very good by Richards. Not Richardson, but Richards of Bayside. Now Rabin has a run at it inside the attacking half. A through ball down the right-hand side. Very quick play. Castagna does well. It's not taken cleanly by South Melbourne, but they managed to cut it off. Good defence. The players got back inside the area. Kadashi, I should say, was the player that was down that right-hand side. She's very, very quick, isn't she? And she managed to beat a couple, but again, good defence by South.
Yeah, she is quick, and we didn't get to see that so much in the first half. It was a great ball by Rabin to put it out in front of her so that she had that opportunity to outrun Gummer and cross the ball in. South did really well, obviously, to deal with it.
Well, they need to get more one-on-ones between Gummer and Kadashi, because Kadashi has the pace. Gummer certainly has the physicality. And now there's a turnover. Good play by one of the youngsters, Papatnis, for the South Melbourne side. And they go back to set up once more. And Varley, who's done that all day with Aratis, heads out the left-hand side. Pass is okay. Finds Gummer, who's combined well as well as a holding midfielder. Back to Varley. And now Gummer down the left-hand side. Missed at the back by Austin, but she does well to get back on it after originally sticking her boot out and not connecting, but then making amends. Kadashi, a little pass back, and once again, not keeping control of the ball, which has been an issue for Bayside today.
Yeah, it has. It's been a little bit disappointing. They're really going to want to work on that this week, I think.
As we set up against a team who's very good defensively. Made them work for it today. Haven't given them too many free passes inside their attacking half. Going back now to Haratzis, who's been terrific. Just controlling the defensive area all day. Now down to Gummer, who's been great. Getting a boot on it, but not really connecting, is Richardson. She just thrust a boot at that, at the top of the penalty area. But it rolled meekly and harmlessly to the goalkeeper, Fariga, who's been a star for Bayside today. They could be 5 or 6-1 down, really. Trapped it halfway, and then she managed to get rid of a couple of opponents. Bacalo of Bayside. Little pass to Richards. And now trying to take them on Harvis. Getting a little bit more of the ball in this half. Down the left-hand side. Good play despite being under pressure. Sakalis had an opponent hanging off her. Back in the direction of Papatsanis. And she gets it to Richardson, who's been very, very clever. Towards the top of the area to Lay. But kicks it into bodies. Cleared by Austin. And now Lay again, looking for a way through. That's a nice pass down the left-hand side. That's an excellent pass. And South Melbourne, a chance for them, but they couldn't quite control on the left-hand side. That was Hollingsworth. And again, it's over the byline. She's made a good debut, Mia Hollingsworth.
Yeah, she has. She's played very well. Unfortunately, just got a bit of a heavy touch on that one.
Long ball by Fariga. Can it be controlled? DiCarlo again. They've been outnumbered and overwhelmed in a lot of these battles today, but they win possession here. Hours being clever. The through ball was almost there by Harviz, but that was good play again at the back by Richardson, who's got back to help her defenders all day for South Melbourne. And now Rabin, that's a lovely touch. Out to Bacalo on the left-hand side. She has to backheel it. She heard the voice of Richards, but getting a boot on that is Richardson, saving the day and putting it over the sideline for South Melbourne. But maybe Richards of Bayside might have just got the last touch on that. I think she did. She's very good today, Richardson, that magnificent goal. Outside the area. And then she's come back in defence. Have you seen enough two-way running from Bayside? You've seen a lot of that from South Melbourne, haven't you? Their intent, as we mentioned, the players who are playing up front or an attacking role have gone back in defence, haven't they? As Bacalo lost it, regained it, but she really has nothing to kick to because South have got the numbers back, so she has to slide it sideways to Richards, and that pass wasn't great. Just getting a boot on that, Papasanis, and tried to find Richardson once again. She was the last to touch it. And Richards now to Rabin. Rabin's got three opponents around her. She's a clever player. She's outside the area on the left looking for a way through. And in the end, a corner is conceded by Haratzis. So the second corner of the day for Bayside. Goes back now to Richards. And Richards now long and high and inaccurate to the left-hand side. Didn't curl at all. So it's still 2-1 in favour of South Melbourne as it was at half-time against Bayside. So about that two-way running, they're doing enough of it, Bayside?
Yeah, I think they're not doing as much as South. I think those outside backs for South are really pushing up forward a lot more than the Bayside players, and I think that's what's contributing to South having so many numbers in when they're attacking. But I'm not sure if maybe that's just not so much part of Bayside's game plan, but yeah, they've definitely got less of that two-way running.
It's going to be a couple of subs here. Dual subs for Bayside. Felicity Georgopoulos, number 9, is going to come on. And Savannah Anastopoulos. Testing my pronunciations, Izzy, coming on as well. Number 13 and number 9. And Kadashi coming off, so she's obviously a speedy player. Anastopoulos. And Rendis, Toddy Rendis, or Dottie Rendis, I should say, coming off as well. Good moves, you think?
Yeah, well, I think Anastasopoulos definitely creates a bit of excitement up forward, so that's what they're needing at the moment. So I think she's a great inclusion into the game, and Georgopoulos obviously bringing a little bit more solidity into the middle of the park.
So Cindy Lay slides it wide. Pafatsanis does well. Little pass to Richardson. And now Sakalis takes on Shearing. He does keep her honest. Back to Pafatsanis. Turnover. Walsh nearly lost it, and in the end, with Jones lurking about a millimetre behind, I thought I better go back and start again with Farija. He goes low. Varley attacks it hard and forces a turnover because Bayside were just being a little bit indecisive, and offside is Richardson as that pass floated in her direction down the right, and she was looking dangerous as she got ready to charge onto that just outside the area, but the flag goes up. So an opportunity goes begging for South Melbourne, and Bayside dodge another bullet. Down 2-1. Walsh. Again, getting little touches on these South Melbourne and just managing to force turnovers as Hollingsworth are charging at her. Good play by Austin. It'll roll close to the sideline. Gummer keeps it alive. Varley down the left-hand side. Hollingsworth. Lay will go back. Inside the area, Harassis charging. Pavitsanis. Richardson. Sakalis now. 3 opponents around her. Looking for a way through. Good pass to Jones on the edge of the area. Again kept honest. Under pressure. Good play by Richards. Now she slides to the area. Did Walsh keep it alive? She did. As she just tracked it, although the South Melbourne bench saying that should nearly be a corner. But again, good defence by Pollock. Attacking side of halfway. Down to Richardson. Pollock kept running, the skipper. USA import. But her opposite number, Ravine, takes it for Bayside. But had it turned over by Richardson again. But again, Ravine, wonderful defence back to Richardson. And Ravine again into her body. So good contest on the right-hand corner. Deep into attack South Melbourne. At the highway end. And a rare corner for South. I think this is their second corner, Izzy. Let's see if they can set up nicely here. And some of their taller players, including Leah Varley, coming down to try and get involved.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of corners in this game, so it'll be interesting to see how they set this one up with the height advantage that they've certainly got.
Taken by Adriana Jones. Leah Varley's there, but it didn't get as far as her. Cindy Lay off balance, heads it away. But it'll be cleaned out of defence by Austin. Down the right-hand side. Here's a chance now for South. Anastopoulos. She's got to try and get around a couple of opponents. She's beaten a couple already. She's making her way all the way down the right-hand side. Now Papasanis is with her. Anastopoulos just on very close to the line. That was a terrific run by Anastopoulos. She has to go back now as they try and get back into attack Bayside. But Anastopoulos superb. As you said, Izzy, she came on for a pace and it was exciting.
Yeah, well, I was hoping for a bit of excitement when she came on, and that was great. Great counter from the corner. Hopefully we'll see a bit more from that.
Again, though, Richardson with Shearing on a hammer. Back to Pollock, who's been very good today. Now inside the attacking half, that's a high ball that might come up for Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth looking to control it now. Gets around Austin, goes after it again, but attacking it Farija. Farija overcorrected. Hollingsworth goes again. The defenders got back, but you've got to admire Leah Farija. She almost got cleaned up in the first half. In fact, did get cleaned up, and she came at it again. She attacked it hard like her life depended on it and ran into Hollingsworth, who kept going. She went to ground. And then the three defenders had to get back quickly. Knew they were in trouble, but luckily for Bayside, Izzy, Hollingsworth couldn't control it.
No, she couldn't, and that was wonderful, confident, courageous work by Farija there. I think Hollingsworth will want to have that one again.
Here's Varley. Oh, Varley had a chance. It was set up for her from that lovely centering corner by South Melbourne, but she was slightly off balance. And all she did was head the ball straight over the byline where she was headed, which was across the goals, if you know what I mean. More face to the left-hand side. So an opportunity missed for South. They still lead 2-1 against Bayside in the second half. Chested down by Haviz, who's been outplayed today. Richardson gets it back. Harassis. Good defence to Pollock. And now Varley again. Been excellent. Down the left-hand side, the through ball. Didn't get as far as Jones. And good work at the back by Georgopoulos. One of the two subs coming on a few minutes ago. Now Varley receives the ball from the throw-in for South. Hollingsworth, through ball again. Georgopoulos, though, getting back inside the area. Looking to set up down the right-hand side, but misses a target, which has been a real issue for them today. And as you said, back to the drawing board a bit with your passing during the week for Bayside.
Yeah, I think there's credit to South Melbourne. They have been putting the pressure on, but I don't think there was a whole lot of pressure on that one, so a bit disappointing.
So South looking for their 6th win. And to keep pressure on Calder, they still look like the team to beat, but as Izzy said, there's still a long, long way to go. This is I call it an ultra marathon. They call the AFL a marathon. I call this an ultra marathon with the extra 5 games on top, like there is in the A-League. And where are we? We're probably at the 7-8K mark. Spills to the back. And some rear work for Karatsakos, the goalkeeper for South Melbourne. Did concede a goal early, but other than that, really hasn't had a lot to do. Good defence, though, just over the halfway mark as they try to through ball through lay, South Melbourne. And Bayside have it, controlling it nicely. Is Au out to the right-hand side, going long and high, but stopped right on the goal line. Bacalo's shot was good, but didn't have enough elevation on it, and taken easily by Karatsakos. Didn't have the height or elevation that Richardson's did from the same spot, which produced South Melbourne's second goal. Very exciting goal. A turnover again against Lay. Here's a chance. Pass through. Didn't quite find the target from the boot of Shearing. And there's going to be a free kick. It'll go in front of the Bayside coach's box. I think Walsh will take it. Still 2-1. More urgency in their game now because they realise time running out a bit.
Yeah, then I think the substitution they made with Anastasopoulos coming on has created a bit of difference in their forward attacking movement.
Walsh, low ball, and it rolls straight through. You can see Rabin coming across. Varley was right with her, shoved her in the side, allowing the ball to go comfortably to the goalkeeper, Karatsakos, getting a bit of work in recent times. Now Gummer, down the left-hand side, receives again from a nice little back heel from Hollingsworth. Now a long, loping ball. Richardson's onside. No, she seemed to be offside. Gee, that was a late call because she seemed to be on her own for a fair while. Was it a late call?
Well, I think you've got to actually impact play for it to be offside, so it wasn't until the ball got nearer that she made the call.
Walsh, high ball, headed away. Papatsanis, who's been pretty good in this second half, staving off forward thrusts by Bayside. Richardson, one of the stars for South, kicks into the bootlaces of Richards, spills back to Sakalis of South. Another through ball, but coming out to the edge of the area. She loves doing that for Farrugia. It's fraught with danger. It's well chested down by Rabin. Finds a teammate Au. Goes out to the right-hand side to Anastopoulos, who's been good since coming on. Looks to take them on, but Varley's too big for her and beats her. And they'll charge out of defence against South. Still in their defensive half. Holding a 2-1 lead. Lay. Long ball, Hollingsworth comes out and she's overcorrected Farrugia. She'll be a goal to Jones and is. She came out Farrugia. Hollingsworth got a little boot on it and Jones was out the back and has put it through, and that should just about be it. South leading 3-1 and a brace for Adriana Jones, 6 goals for the season.
It was a great ball through there. I think there were a few of them lining up for it, and unfortunately Hollingsworth just got a touch on it before Farrugia was able to get there, but great attacking movement there by South.
Did Farrugia do the right thing? I mean, she's done it all day, hasn't she? I mean, she's just back to judgment all day, and you really can't criticise her too much, can you? No,
absolutely not. You've got to back your judgment as a goalkeeper. She didn't hesitate. She did the right thing. Just the other player was just a little bit faster than she was.
So 3-1 South Melbourne. Real urgency now. Anastopoulos beats a couple of opponents again, looks to centre it up, and again, great defence by Richardson just as Au was arriving at the top of the area. Now back to Bayside. Long ball, Rabin there, but again, Karatsakos just had a little bit too much on it, and she clears comfortably. And again, South. A through ball to Jones again. Can she get a hat-trick? She's opposed to Walsh, and she's on the left, but all she can do, just under a bit of pressure, couldn't pull it around the body enough, rolls it along the turf, cleaned up by Farrugia. Coming down the left-hand side is Richards, turned over to Shearing by Sakalis, and they're queuing up a bit at the moment, South Melbourne. Walsh gets in the way, back to Rabin, and they just need to put some passes together. Bacalo, Anastopoulos, shoved away by Varley again, who puts it over the sideline. Those defenders have been brilliant today for South, who lead 3-1 in the second half, and South on target for their 6th win and to stay in second position on the table. And their goal difference at the moment, 19. Anastopoulos to the top of the area, headed down. Again, Rabin with her big body. Out manoeuvres Lay. under pressure from Gummer. Goes right across the face and into the left-hand corner. Nothing at all that the goalkeeper, Karatsakos, could do. She was running out of room on the edge of the byline, and as I say, went right across the face. That's a brace for Rabin. Her brilliance has kept the side in this. It's now 3-2. 11 goals for the season, and how she found the left-hand corner with no room is unbelievable, Izzy.
Yeah, that was a fantastic goal. I would have liked to have been over at that corner flag to see it from the other angle, because I don't think she would have had much to see of the goal. So, yeah, fantastic strike.
And there was nothing Karatsakos could do because she was sort of camped in the right-hand side. It looked like she had it covered. Again, just some brilliance. Brilliance from Richardson in the first half. Brilliance from Rabin. In fact, 2 pieces of brilliance from Rabin today. Problem is, she hasn't had enough support up front. That's 3-1. Now, or 3-2, I should say. Good work by Richards. Received the old 1-2 from a teammate out, but a turnover again in midfield by the bigger bodies of South Melbourne. They probably still need one more. They've had a couple of 4-2 results go their way this year. And Walsh on this occasion trying to control it as the ball came inside the penalty area, and she didn't really have great control of that. Luckily, it goes over the byline, because that might have been almost an own goal against Bayside then. It is a corner for South Melbourne. Brilliant goal by Rabin. I mean, hasn't been brilliant, but, gee, she's been influential, if that makes any sense.
I think she's had a pretty good game. It's hard in that midfield role when you don't have a lot of support around you, but she's done well.
That again goes across the face and rolls to the back. It was a low, flat corner kick and over the sideline. It's going to be Bayside's ball. As I say, just need to play quickly, with intensity, with urgency. Maybe the intensity's been down a bit. Shearing a high ball. Just clears the area, lay there. Shearing, barges are out of the way. Approaching it, Rabin made a good contest, but she's given away a free kick and she's not happy. She needs to not say anything because she's already on a yellow card. Got a warning and then she kept yapping and received one a couple of minutes later from Jasmine Stegar, the ref. So a free kick, about 10 metres outside the penalty area. And there'll be a wall set up by the team in orange. A mini wall, really. 3 players, among them the tall figure of Rabin. And Ken Sakalis taking the free kick. It's not Sakalis, going to be Gummer. Sakalis is right with her. It curls and goes along the ground, comfortably taken and mopped up by Faruja, the goalkeeper. Gets it out to the right-hand side. But unfortunately for Austin, she turns it over. She was sloppy and Varley goes down. Ooh, she got one around her ankle. Received heavy treatment from Austin. And she's been really good today, Leah Varley. That would have hurt. You had the studs up in the ankles often?
Not often, but it does hurt.
Can it cause serious injury?
I think it can. I think you've seen some in the past in a lot of, I don't know, men's leagues, especially when they come flying in with the 2 leg studs up, snap the leg in half.
Gee. She's walking it off, Leah Varley. Still on her haunches. It's a floating free kick ball to the edge of the area. It's going to be a Bayside ball. 3-2. Rabin scoring 2 special goals. The second one needed to be seen to believe. Hemmed in on the byline. On the right-hand side. Not much daylight, and she scored to the left-hand corner. Vicalo tried to get a through ball, but again stopped by Papazanis for South Melbourne. Again, their defence combining brilliantly. Down to Richardson. Havis in for shoot. Havis saying that's out, that's out. And the linesperson said correct. Lucy Richards been pretty good. Pass over the top. Who was that to? No one. Papazanis takes it for South Melbourne. Goes back now. Haratzis. Varley seems to have recovered. Out to the left-hand side. Gummer, Richardson, Pollock, bumped off it by the opposite captain, Rabin, for Bayside. For Carlo, Rabin long and high, but camped on the right-hand side and taking it on the second grab with a bit of a bobble is Karitsakos, the number 2 goalkeeper, but it's turned over, but no harm done because it seemed to surprise Bayside then and they couldn't get much boot on that. I should say. And it rolled straight to Karitsakos, who's been a lot busier in this second half as Bayside have had to chase the game down 3-2. Now South the chance through Richardson, jumps around a couple of opponents. Through ball to Jones. Too long for her. She leaves the area, has to kick it away for each of the goalkeeper. Now that's a beautiful pass into the middle. Now inside their attacking half. Rabin. Bucalo. 3-1 South up. Again turned over. South have it. Sakalis. Down the right-hand side. Good pass, Richardson. Jones again. She's under pressure. She shoots. And that was a terrific save again by Farrugia. She got a hand on that. She knocked it over the byline. But I'm not sure. I think that the goalpost might have been in the road anyway, Izzy. But it was a lovely save by Farrugia, just indicating what a great day she's had. And it'll be another corner kick for South Melbourne to lead 3-1.
Yeah, it was a great save. Those curling ones into the bottom corner aren't always easy to get a hand to, but it may have hit the post, but she did well to make sure that it wasn't going in.
So let's see what South can do with this corner. That is very close to the goals, and again it's punched away by Farrugia for another corner on the other side. She's done well today. I know she's conceded 3 goals. And the third one, there was an error of judgment where she came out, but she's played like that all day where she's attacked it. Got on the edge of the penalty area, and Hollingsworth was just a bit too smart for her. The first game, the USA import. I was able to lob it over the top, and Jones was on her own. But really can't blame her for much else today. Didn't go for the corner kick, went for the pass, and a magnificent pass by Varley. And the attempted header by Gummer, again stopped brilliantly by Farrugia. Great header by Gummer. That was with class and touch near the box and the area, as there's almost a turnover here. But again, Farrugia stopped it beautifully. Wonderful reflexes. How good has she been? Through ball now by Bucalo. And trying to take them on is Richards. Papazanis' goal side and puts it over the line. Good play as they quickly got them on the counter-attack. Bayside, Rabin receiving from Richards. High ball, headed down, didn't have enough on it. Good attempt though by Al. Not tall enough. And again cleared by South Melbourne. They charge down the left-hand side once more. Hollingsworth has been brilliant today. Front of the social club rooms. Now she passes towards Jones on the edge of the area. Walsh after her now, looking to keep her honest. Jones stops and props. Hollingsworth now a high ball, headed down, and there's going to be a free kick. There's a collision. Walsh got back. The top of the penalty box, Izzy, and was helping Farrugia out 2-on-1. That was good play by her.
Yeah, it was good play. I think it was lovely movement forward by South, and Bayside defenders really kept their structure and did well to ensure that no goal went in then.
Farrugia. Trapped by Howe at halfway. Centering ball looking for Anastopoulos. Chopped off though by Gummer. Another one of these holding midfielders. Puts a player down too. Tried to stop her. And now Lay to Richardson. And Jasmine Stegar, the referee, didn't see that Rabin was down. Now she stops play. Says, are you okay? Is there much in that?
I'm not sure I was right. The pole was right in my line of vision then, but I think it was just a bit of a late collision between Gummer and Rabin.
So free kick. Richards. Straight down the line. And it'll be cleaned up by Karatsakos. He's conceded 2 goals today, but they were both top of the draw type goals from Rabin. Now South in possession of their back half. Haritzis had to backtrack a little bit. The pass from her teammate, Papazanis, wasn't all that good. And that one almost went away from Gummer, but she made it look better than it was. Out on the left-hand side. Now Lay looking for a way through. Finds one. Jones has been good to get out and give her team someone to provide an option for inside the attacking half. But again, good defence by Bayside and turning Lay inside out. Good play on that occasion by Shearing. And now Rabin. Little pass. Seemed to confuse Picarlo momentarily. Goes back to Richards, who's been one of her team's best today for mine. Back to Picarlo inside the attacking half. 3-1 South lead. Defensive give now. Shearing. Floating ball to the top of the area. Getting a boot on it. Papazanis for South. Supported by Richardson. Turned over again at halfway by the charging Walsh. Walsh now pass. A little boot on it, but again good defence. 5-on-2 South with their defenders. Richardson now down in the direction of Jones. Oh, almost handball I thought on that occasion. Might have just touched her, the top of her arm, but she was given the benefit of the doubt. The coach isn't happy about this. South Melbourne coach screaming from the sideline, and it's a Bayside ball. 3-2 the score. Nice back heel by Harvis. She says sorry to Jessica Rao because she wasn't there. And Aratzis, as she's done all day, manages to save the day for South. To Varley, they switch on the left again. That's happened a lot today, the switch. Aratzis, Varley, and now Gummer. And now Hollingsworth on the end of it. Charging inside the area. Controlling it nicely. Sets it up. Gummer shoots! And again, getting a hand on it. Faruja. And knocks it over for another corner. How good has she been today? Beautiful movement by South on the left-hand side. That's where they've dominated, haven't they? The ability to switch and get their key players involved. Hollingsworth, Gummer, from the defenders, Haritzis and also Varley.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also in that attacking movement, they also had Adriana Jones and Cindy Lay both making good runs as well. So it meant that the Bayside defenders really stretched, trying to make sure that all options were covered, and you just can't do that in the end.
Jones, a high ball, headed down by Varley. But again, scrambling defence by the Bayside team saves the day. And eventually, it'll be a goal kick going Bayside's way, but they're under pressure. And with that big figure of Leah Varley, it was a beautiful corner kick by Jones. Lovely elevation. Well placed. Turnover, though. Again, sloppy play by Bayside as Hollingsworth had it, then she lost it, then she regained it. She continues to hustle and bustle in the middle of the park. Gummer, good play coming down the left-hand side by Sakalis. And then a flying shot at the top of the area by Richardson, the scorer of that magnificent goal in the first half outside the area at the other end. And she misses everything across the face. So 3-1. 3-2, I should say. 3-2. That's why you're here, Izzy. Gave me a funny look. I know I'm an ugly man, but yes, 3-2 is the score. And going back now, Richardson. Haratzis didn't take that cleanly, but combines with the goalkeeper, Karitsakos, for charging it hard, Richards, but she left it behind. But luckily, I was there for support for Bayside. Again, the through ball didn't get anywhere because Varley, that big figure, was in the road again for South. Good combination. Zigzagging away across the path, but the pass by Sakalis too much. And leaving the area going for a long kick is Faruja, controlled by Rabin. Down to another one of the key midfielders, Bukalo. And helped out at the back again towards Habib, who kicks into her opponent. Papazanis has Al for support, 10 metres outside the area, and her shot is curling away and headed to the right-hand side, of which Karatsikos had it covered for South Melbourne, who lead 3-2, and they'll be in possession on the far side as another change being made. Taliadoris coming on. The third sub, one of the young players, and she'll come on for one of the goal scorers for Bayside this year. Hasn't had a big influence, Emily Hubbis. A little bit more influential in this half because the play has been predominantly on this side for Bayside. They've tried to keep it away from Gummer a lot more. Charging out of defence again, Haritzis. Richardson, pass, almost left Sakalis behind. Then there was support from Pollock, who's been pretty good, down to Hollingsworth, who's been outstanding in her first game for South. And Gummer will ride shotgun on the outside. Takes it just outside the area. Takes Austin on. Flying ball again across the face. Kept alive by Richardson to the top of the penalty box. Missed by Sakalis, the attempted header, and footed away frantically by Rabin. And good play by Taliadoris just coming on, beats Sarah Richardson. But again, the defenders are at the back. And they've done it all day. Pollock looking for Richardson. Getting in the road, Richards. Now here's a chance for Taliadoris. In pursuit of her opponent, Pavitsanis. Goes back to Haratzis. Haratzis, a looping ball. Headed down by Walsh. Still 3-2 South Melbourne. Closing stages of this. Down to Richardson. Now to Pavitsanis. Back to Haratzis, who's a little bit unsure where to go. Goes inboard and short. Pollock, that pass almost turned over by Taliadoris, who missed it. Now Richardson, two opponents around her. It's taken off her by Richards. Taliadoris, little pass to Richards, but Papazanis saves the day and puts it over the sideline as the coaching bench of Bayside United. They want them up and about. They want them moving, the players. They know time's running out. They're down 3-2. To the top of the area. But allowed through. Haratzis again has been terrific. Again, that turnover doesn't quite find the target. Walsh has it. Gets it back again to Rabin. Rabin, a couple to beat. Her pass no good. Again, Haratzis is camped on that penalty area and she has just staved off so many attacks today. Good play by Jones. That was clever. Through the middle goes Richardson. Jones is onside. She's got the goalkeeper to beat. Can she get around her? She actually goes through her but misses to the left-hand side. And it might have been actually off the thigh, the inside of the thigh of the goalkeeper it was. It'll be another corner kick to be taken by South Melbourne. But that was going to be a good battle there between both Farrugia and Jones.
I think Jones will be disappointed she didn't get a hat-trick there, but Farrugia did really well to come out and be big and make her have to really make a decision on which way to go, and she was on her toes ready to stop it when it came.
Yes, she's been outstanding, Farrugia. Could be 7-1. This ball's a bit short to the edge of the area. It should be cleared by the Bayside defence. It's going to be a free kick. It's headed away, and they'll take the free kick. Nice header by Vicalo. Got good purchase on that. Walsh down to Richards, who's been very impressive. Down this left-hand side. Taliadoris, one of the subs, has just come on. Her pass not great. Lay goes down. Good tackling, good spoiling. 2-on-1 against her. Ripped off her comfortably by Shearing. And now Rabin goes straight down the guts with her shot on goal. But all it does is skid into the safe hands of Karitsikos. Right on the goal line. Turned over though inside the attacking half by Bayside. Could be the last throw of the dice here. Again, Lay, an opportunity. She's got a player now. Jones onside. No, she's not onside. They're told to get on with it. Move quickly, says the Bayside bench. Both coaching benches barking instructions. Again, the defence good. Lay. Looking for Richardson. Good pass. Papazanis arrives now right-hand side. Goes wide to Richardson. Richardson kicks into the body of Richards. And again, in front of our commentary position, Papazanis will take it. To Pollock. Turned over, though. Good play by Shearing, who's been pretty solid today. Couple of minutes left now in injury time. So still a chance, 3-2 to at least level. And again, Richardson saying, well, I had an opportunity there to play on. Free kick given to Papazanis. Goes back. Haratz has been terrific. But footed away by Bayside. Their defence been better in the second half, even though they've given up a goal. Now Richardson, a little bit too eager for Rabin beats her, but they've got numbers at the back. And again, leaving a line and going long and high and handsome is Faruja, the goalkeeper. Our one-on-one with the big body of Haritzis. And again, there is an offside. She's been a lot of offsides, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone was expecting that ball by Faruja to go quite so long. I think Al was still getting back from the last attack.
So 3-1, 3-2 I should say. South looking to cling to this lead. Hollingsworth has been terrific. Some might say in horse racing terms needed the run, but not her. She's coming to it like she's been playing all season. Gummer had the ball stripped. And again, Haritzis at the back. Farley as well. Gummer again. Under pressure, close to the line. And spills away over the sideline, in front of the social club rooms. 3-2 in favour of South. Might nearly be home here for their 6th win of the season. Take them to 19 points on the table. Keep them in second spot. Getting that pass. Didn't find a target. Turnover. Here's a chance for Sakalis. He couldn't get enough foot on ball. She had a lot of defenders around her. It's cleared away by Shearing, who does well for United. Played a pretty good second half. And now the last chance. Here's Anastopoulos. Anastopoulos has about 3 to beat. And meeting her front on magnificently as she went airborne. Haritzis was superb, and that's it. All over. South Melbourne win again. In an excellent game of women's Premier League soccer here in Victoria at the Kingston Heath Reserve, but too good for the 6th place Kingston Heath. They've won 3-2 as Margot Rabin continues to talk to the refs. Bit late now. She hasn't been happy all day, has she?
No, but it's a good opportunity for them to have a discussion about the calls, and it's always good for the referees to explain what's actually happened, because often they do have a better understanding of the rules than the players.
A brace to Jones, who was terrific today for South Melbourne, and also that special goal outside the penalty area in the first half from Sarah Richardson, while 2 goals scored by Margot Rabin. A goal on the counter-attack after South had scored their first down the right-hand side from just outside the area, or just inside the area. Lovely goal by Margot Rabin. And then the second goal, well, we thought the goal by Sarah Richardson was special, and typical me to make big statements. Been here 5 minutes and I make a big statement about the goal of the year from Sarah Richardson. I reckon Margot Rabin's goal, Lizzie, might have almost equalled that, if not at least exceeded it, because she was camped in on the right-hand side, very close to the line, and there wasn't any daylight at all for her to shoot, and she's managed to kick it right across the goal face, and it's gone in the left-hand side of the goals. There was nothing that the goalkeeper, Karitsakos, could do, so her brilliance kept the team in it, but there wasn't enough attacking options, I thought, for Bayside today.
No, there weren't. Not in the first half. I think in the second half there were a lot more movements forward where they had support. But yeah, it was definitely the day for South Melbourne. They had the dominance, and